Hi guys, this is Omer from MMOHut.com, and I'm doing another quick weekly recap of MMO news and announcements of the week ending July 1st, 2012. Anyway, as you can see from the video playing in the background, the first piece of news we're taking a look at this week has to do with the newly announced Warframe. And the news is that Digital Extremes, the company known for the Unreal games, Bioshock games, and several other titles, has announced a brand new free-to-play title called Warframe. Warframe is a co-op shooter set in outer space during a new dark age, and despite being a shooter, Warframe isn't just another tactical shooter like Art of Combat or Combat Arms, as the game is a co-op shooter where players band together to run through various missions a la Alien Swarm, I'm guessing. And the game is set to begin its closed beta testing later this fall. I do believe that this is Digital Extreme's first free-to-play MMO, so it's cool to see more and more Western companies making free-to-play games. And plus, these guys actually made Bioshock, which is a really awesome game. Next up, on June 25th, GameGlobe from Big Point announced the start of its closed beta testing phase, and GameGlobe is a free-to-play virtual world developed by Square Enix, the company definitely best known for their Final Fantasy games. And not too much is known about the game right now, but it is supposed to emphasize user-created content, as the entire game is pretty much revolves around players creating their own various games and sharing them with others. Now, GameGlobe itself is basically just a big sandbox for players to play in. Everything is supposed to be user-generated. It's developed by Square Enix, but published by Big Point. Up next, on June 27th, Hi-Rez Studios announced that Tribes Ascend will be launching on Steam. To celebrate the launch of Tribes Ascend on Steam, Hi-Rez released a new Capture the Flag match called Stonehenge. Also including the update is a new team deathmatch map called Miasma. And Steam is definitely becoming a big name in the free-to-play universe lately, as just last week Nexon announced that a bunch of their games will be available on Steam as well. And not just Nexon, tons of publishers are actually launching their games on Steam too. Next up, also on June 27th, Killer Combo introduced its newest character for their 2D side-scrolling action MMORPG, Elsword. The character is named Chung, and he's the 6th character to arrive in Elsword, and is a brawler who uses a huge cannon. At level 15, Chung can specialize as a Shooting Guardian or a Fury Guardian. The video in the background is actually the official Elsword Chung launch trailer. It is CGI though, so you can't see any actual skills being showed off, but that's the character. Up next, on June 28th, Netmarble released the Great Plains expansion for their naval MMORPG, Uncharted Waters Online. The Great Plains is the third chapter in the North American expansion for the game, and introduces the world of the Wild West to players. The update also adds new areas, quests, and discoveries to the game. And despite being a fairly old title, Uncharted Waters Online still has a fairly decent player base. It's actually one of the few Japanese-developed MMORPGs. I say few because most of these games are developed in either Korea or China. Next up, on June 28th, Funcom, the company probably best known for Anarchy Online and Age of Conan, announced a brand new free-to-play MMO based on the LEGO franchise. The LEGO minifigures to be precise. The video in the background is actually a video of LEGO Universe Online, which shut down back in January. I'd love to show you footage of this new game, but it's so early in development right now that there is no footage. And since LEGO Universe Online actually shut down, hopefully this new LEGO game from Funcom fares better. The only thing we do know about the game is that it is free to play and it is based on the LEGO franchise, and that's really it. No word on release quite yet, so I suspect it's still a while away. At least a year away, I would guess. But yeah, another new free to play MMO on the horizon. Up next, also on June 28th, Gravity Interactive announced a new Classic server for Ragnarok Online, which launched on June 29th. The Classic server is basically a modern Ragnarok Online, with all of its updates, except all the renewal updates back in 2010 have been removed. Not everyone liked the changes Gravity introduced with the renewal update, so this Classic server will let players experience the game without those particular changes. The next and last bit of news is a small update for the closed beta MOBA Smite. On June 29th, a new patch for Smite introduced a new god named Guan Yu, the Saint of War. In Smite, champions or heroes are simply called gods, but they are essentially the same thing. Smite is published by Hi-Rez Studios, the same company behind Tribes Ascend and Global Agenda. The video in the background actually shows off some of Guan Yu's gameplay as well. There's still no official word on when the open beta for Smite will begin. It's still in closed beta. It will likely remain there a bit longer, as it did take Tribes Ascend quite a while to go from closed beta to open beta. Well, that's it for MMO news, but as for games coming soon, we have nothing on the radar. But as for games recently launched, we have Continent of the Ninth, or simply C9 for short, which began its open beta phase on June 30th. Select players had early access since June 27th, but June 30th was the official open beta date. The game launched into open beta with 4 playable classes, with more likely coming down the road. Gameplay-wise, C9 does look and play a lot like Vindictus, as it is an action MMORPG. Anyway guys, that's it for MMO news and announcements the week ending July 1st, 2012. Now if you want to read about or learn more about any of the news mentioned in this video, simply head on over to MMOHut.com/news. If you want to discuss any of this video, simply head on over to MMOHut.com/forums. Anyway guys, this is Omer, signing off.